What's going on, Flesh and Blood gamers? It's your boy Sin here, and today, since we're getting very close to Dynasty spoiler season, I figured before we start seeing all of the Royal cards, and all of the new Draconic cards, and all of the new Warrior cards, and all of the new yada yada yada, you get what I'm saying. Before we do that, let's take a peek back at the Emperor and see what we can do to build him. He's right on the surface, he seems like a very fun, just kind of gimmicky hero, but can we actually build this guy to pack a punch in Blitz? Can it be done? That's the question, and I am looking to answer it with the cards that are in the existing pool. I think he sits probably around a B at best, if he can do what he needs to do. In Blitz, I don't think he's going to be all that great, but we're going to go through right now and we're going to evaluate every single red card that this man could run and say yay or nay to putting him into the Emperor, because I don't know, there's so many ways you can build this guy at this point. I mean, you can go Royal, you can go Draconic, you can go solely Warrior or Wizard, you can go like Draconic Warrior, you can go Draconic Wizard, you can go Warrior Wizard, you can go Royal Draconic, you can go Royal Warrior, Royal Wizard, Royal Draconic Wizard, Royal Draconic Warrior. Like, you can focus it in various areas. I don't know where this is going to fall, and honestly, it makes my head hurt, so we're just going to dive right in, so I don't have to think too much about it. Here we go. So, right now, obviously I'm using Fabrary because, Fabrary's, they have the Emperor here, and it's kind of just broken up by, the stuff the man can run. So, for those who don't know, the Emperor essentially boils down to, he has Intellect 4, 15 life, you can only play red cards in his deck. He is a Royal Draconic Warrior Wizard, so he's got 2 talents. I guess they haven't really said if Royal's a talent or not. Maybe they did. I'm not recalling. Yeah, it's you'd only run red cards. His ability is pay 3 and search your deck for Command and Conquer and place it on the field attacking. So let's start. I feel like the weapons equipment would be a great place to start. Ether Conduit costs 2. It's garbage. Don't use it. Alluvian Constellus, maybe for the Wizard matchup, and only if you're running a staff, or, Arcane Lantern, Skullcap, no Skullcap, Blood Drop Brocade. I mean, this might not be terrible. This might actually not be terrible. Blood Drop may not be terrible, but I definitely feel like there are better options. The better option straight up being Flamescale Furnace. I mean, I think in the chest slot, we're looking at Flamescale Furnace no matter what. This will essentially, if you pitch one and then pitch another, so you're taking 2 cards from hand, you can, leaving 2 cards in your hand and maybe one in Arsenal, you're throwing a Command and Conquer from the deck at the end of a chain, off of Flamescale. So you would, pitch one to play a card earlier in the turn, and then you would pitch another card, gain 2 resources, and then come in with the Command and Conquer. So that plays into the ability, and if we're looking to play into the ability, which I think is wildly inefficient. I mean, it's not exactly inefficient. You're still pitching, you're still paying the same amount you would kind of typically for a Command and Conquer. You're really playing a 1-cost Command and Conquer, so that's not terrible. But Flamescale Furnace is, from my perspective, Flamescale is probably the way to go. Deep Blue you could run if you're going into a more aggro-y matchup, because you could just put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck, destroy it, and then grab the Command and Conquer off of his ability. So that's something you could do. Weapons, honestly, I think if you're gonna run any weapon that's pre-existing with the Emperor, Hatchet of Body and Hatchet of Mind may not be a bad idea. You could do that, or you could do Centauri Sabers. I don't foresee the, I don't foresee maybe what's it called, any of the staves to really do anything for you. Maybe Kraken's Ether Vein? Yeah, no, don't use, no, that's cost 3. No, that's stupid. That's bad. Don't use that. I lied to you. Yeah, no, like Crucible of Aetherweave, maybe if you're going for more Arcanic attacks. Dawnblade, maybe if you're trying to give your weapons go again. Maybe. It's just that they cost so much, so it's like it costs 1 to attack with the sword, and you're already 1 card down from your hand, and you're not netting any other resources from it. So it's really hard to kind of like try and kind of build around it. But yeah, you know what? We're gonna add Flame Scale to this list. That's number 1. I gotta be real with you. I think we run Crown of Providence, honestly. I think we were, because the Crown of Dominion doesn't really help because the gold token costs 3 to pitch for, to draw the card, and we can't play cash in because it's a yellow. So Crown of Dominion is garbage for this. Crown of Providence, I mean, that's probably the best you're gonna get, honestly, unless, with the pre-existing cards we have, Crown of Providence is probably the best you're gonna get. Goliath Gauntlet may not actually be that bad, only because if you break it and you break Deep Blue with it or something like that, or you pitch for his ability, you can send a Command and Conquer for 8 at your opponent, I guess, at the end of a turn, or at the end of like a 1-2 card chain, and then you pitch your last card to grab the Command and Conquer. So I mean, Goliath Gauntlet is a maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that's entirely on rate, but like pumping a little extra damage out might be pretty solid. Gallantry Gold, it costs 1. Don't use it. I don't know what to tell you. This man's not giving me much to work with here. Helm of the Sharp Eye costs 1. Don't use it. Any of the Ironhide armor, it costs 1. Don't use it. Mage Master Boots, or I'm gonna say Mage Master Boots. No, actually, no. It costs 1. Don't use it. That's terrible. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. Don't be stupid. There's that. If you're on the budget side, you could probably run Sash of Sandakai, but it's not gonna be as good as Flame Skill. I'm sorry. That's just not happening. Metacarpus. Just Metacarpus. Just run Metacarpus. We can't run Stormstriders anymore in Blitz, so honestly, yeah, you're probably better off with this kind of like base loadout. Depending on what you're trying to do here. I mean, if you go for this, might be safer just because you could pitch that 1 card away, and then do the whole. You can pitch the 1 card away, and you can tack on an extra arcane at the end of a chain. So like that might not be terrible. So after going through all of these, I've decided that he is really hard to build for. Vest of the First Fist you could get away with Vest, honestly. First Fist might not be terrible. You're not gonna. In most instances, you're not going to be playing cards on your opponent's turn like most wizards do. And I only say that because he doesn't really have the capability to play things at instant speed. Like how Icelander has it baked into her effect, or how Kano has it baked into his effect. You're going to be playing Command and Conquer from your arsenal and that's not even at instant speed. I don't think that's just at attacking speed. So yeah, I mean, Vest could be cool, but I don't know, man. Snapdragon's probably your best bet, just because we are not going to be playing a whole lot of cards that cost a lot, and being able to give like a red snatch go again is gonna be probably in your favor in this deck, because we really need to find ways to give things go again, I think. And he, just with what we have now at our disposal, it's going to be difficult to build around this guy in the way that he is meant to be built around. But like weapons wise, I don't know. I'm gonna, just for the sake of like having them available, like let's say, okay, we run a hatchet, and we run both hatchets, for instance. Like you could do that, and then let's lean into Let's lean just ever so slightly lean into the warrior side of his toolkit. We're gonna probably want to go off of this, go back to deck. The first thing I'm gonna say, like, you know what, why not? Let's start with just like the 0-cost 4s. I know we're going to be wanting to run, what's that effing card called? Blaze Headlong. We're probably gonna want to run 2 Blaze Headlongs. I think we want to run 2 red Captain's Calls. Or 2 red Cap Calls. No Cokes. Cokes Commotion is bad. I honestly think we should really only run 1 Command and Conquer, and that's because you're not going to be doing his ability every turn. You're going to get 1 cheap shot at using this, I think. If it ends up in your hand, I guess you could cycle it back in, use that for pitch fodder, and just kind of like cycle CNC back in. But I mean, I don't know. It does block for 3. Maybe we run 2. I think maybe we run 2. So that's fine. I'm just like looking at these cards and I'm thinking to myself, man, he's a challenge to kind of like think about building. Like, I don't want Ether Wildfire, even though I can run it. I guess I could like do some crazy shit, like you could do some crazy shit like Scar for a Scar into an Ether Wildfire, I guess. But you're not getting the full effect out of it because you're not playing on your opponent's turn. So no, scratch Ether Wildfire. We don't want to roll that. That's not gonna really help us here. I wanted Blood of the Drakai to be good for this, but I really don't feel like it is. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm reading that, it might be good. Let's put Blood of the Drakai in maybe board. I think maybe. It's just a very, very small maybe. Captain's Call, come to fight. Yeah, because like if we can. Ooh, yeah, no, that's weird. Like Emeritus Scolding might be good. Let's like toss 1 of those in there just for the hell of it. I don't think Exude's got a place here. Even bigger than that might be cool. Even bigger than that might work. But I don't know. That's some tech that maybe I'll think about later. No, it doesn't block for anything. You're already at 15 life. You don't want that crap. Fate Foreseen doesn't. You're not really opting for anything. Fire Breathing might be okay, but like, how are you gonna give it go again? Flame Call Awakening. I think Flame Call Awakening might be a good pick for this deck. We're gonna go Flame Call Awakening. And then you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go 2 red hit and runs. 2 red hit and runs. Just because it costs 0, it blocks for 3, and it can give your hatchets go again. The hatchets aren't going to be what you're primarily playing around. You're kind of like splitting it down the middle, I feel like. So like, yeah, it's kind of is what it is. You know what? Yeah, it's a 0, blocks for 3. Let's do 2 in the swings. 2 in the swings could be fine. Iron Song Response is another one that I've been thinking about for this. It could really Iron Song Response could work pretty well. That could work pretty well. I'm trying to not shift it so much so that it is a warrior deck, and shift it so far that it's a wizard deck, and like I'm trying to find that happy in between where there's like just reds where you could just go as aggressively as possible. Nimblism sounds good in theory, but it blocks for 2, and that plus 3, I don't know. It could be, if you draw 2 of these, it could really lead to a dead turn, like a really dead turn. So like that's not really what I want to be doing. We could do 2 red Outland Skirmishes. That could be nice. You know what? Yeah, Plunder Run's gonna be hot for this deck. I think Plunder Run works very well for this deck. I think Plunder Run works very well for most decks. It does block for 2, but I mean, you know what? You might be able to make some magic there. Let's think Ravenous Rabble. Right now I'm just thinking like the easy ones, the easy cards that you could easily just like snap and, throw onto the table. Your opponent might want to just take them. Scar First Scar's another one of those. So what, we're at 24 cards right now? Yeah, you know what? This could I think we need 2 sigils, honestly. I think 2 Sigil of Solaces might be the way. Slice and Dice only works for swords and daggers. We're running the hatchets in this, so I'm thinking we want to do Spillblood. I think 2 Spillbloods actually could be very gross in this deck. Same with 2 Spoils. They do both cost 1, but you could easily make those resources back off of your flame scale, and to give your axes +2 and dominate could be very nice. Like at the end of a chain, you just Spillblood and boom, you leak some damage over. We don't have a whole lot to really work with here. I mean, I think I don't know, Voltic Bolt, this could be a nice thing at the end of a chain where you play one card, you play another card, and then you pitch 2 and you just Voltic Bolt for 5. 5 arcane. That could like really play into the Runeblade kind of aspects. So like, you know what? I like that. And the way that I'm thinking wizard cards kind of work in this game, in this deck's context, is you want to play them at the end of a chain. You want to play them almost as if they're sitting in between you and your what's it called? They're sitting in between you and your they're like your Rosetta Thorn almost. They're like your Rosetta Thorn. I think that could really play into some fun stuff there by just like slamming down a Voltic Bolt after 2 attacks. Scalding Rain is another one of those I was thinking of. I think Sap may be a good card for this as well. Yeah, it deals 3 arcane damage, but if it deals more than maybe not. No, maybe not, because you don't really have a way to pump out more than just what you're sending at them. Razor Reflex, only works on sword and dagger attacks. So like, what are you gonna do there? That's a little kind of I say we run 1 Phoenix Flame. Let's just run 1 Phoenix Flame for the sake of running 1 Phoenix Flame. I think I really feel like if we're going to be trying to go for these chains, the Draconic Finishers might actually be good here. So like, let's do that. And then let's try, what is it? Yeah, you know what? Let's, yeah, you know what? Let's throw 2 Blade Runners in there, and we just need 1 more to fill it out. I think Ether Dart's that 1 card. Like, and this is like just a really weird deck right off the rip, but like you could give your stuff go again with Captain's Call if it doesn't have it. Your next attack action. So like we're not running a whole lot of attack actions, I don't think. Like, I want to see the stats of this. Like, we're running 100% reds because we have to. We're running 13 attack actions and 18 non-attack actions. The non-attack actions are, within the realm of like the warrior stuff. So you might be able to like, push stuff through. Your hand, the odds of drawing a hand was 0 to 4. Yeah. Red's the likelihood, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're running 5 2-cost cards. We're running 10 1-cost cards and 24 0-cost cards. So like, I feel like statistically we're sitting pretty high there where we can do things without having to pay for it. And if we do have to pay for it, we have Flame Scale to kind of make up for it. We're always going to have played a red card, during our turn. Whether it be starting off the turn with a hit and run, into, pitching into a hatchet, and then playing a Blaze Headlong immediately after that for 4, and then say, pitching another red to follow up with a Command and Conquer for 6. So like that's what we're talking the hatchet here. That's if we're talking the hatchet, so like hatch number 1 is coming in for 2. So hit and run, 2 go again. So that's 2, 6. That's 12. That's 12 damage plus a threat to your opponent's arsenal. And in Blitz, that's over half health. I mean, if we can pump out turns like that every single turn, and we have as many 3 blocks as we do, which is a lot actually, on top of the sigils to like gain us 3 when we need it, I think this might not be all that terrible right out the rip. We can probably make do with even just this as a testing ground, to build this out. I'm not so sure. Spoils of War could be good. But I think at rate we want to be spending at most 1 resource per turn on things. Because if we're spending any more than that one resource, our turn is not going to be as large. So we really want to do that. And I mean, I won't know this until I like take a look at this and shuffle it up and do some test hands with it. But I think this is, at least just with what we have now prior to Dynasty coming out, looking at it, this is probably the best I can come up with. I'm not sure about Blood of the Drakai. I'm not sure about Blood. Primarily because like none of my, no, we don't want Blood in there. I'm taking it back. Blood's not good for this. I think we just stick with Ether Dart. For something small at the end of a chain. You just kind of ping your opponent with 3 arcane and call it a day. I don't know. I think I think we want let's see, wizard. Yeah, like the wizard cards, dampen dampen costs 2, foreboding bolt costs 1, forked is 3, index prize is not great. Yeah, like everything else just costs way too much. I can't believe I didn't think of this, but I guess you could Tome of Aetherwind. I don't know why you would. I could be wrong in assessing that, but I feel like Tome is still strictly a Kano card. And it blocks for 2, and we're already starting at 15. We're not going to be bombing out like Kano does. So like really we need to focus, I guess, like life gains. So maybe even something like, something like Life for a Life, maybe that's what we put in. Like, cost 1 when you play it, if less health as gains go again. So it always says go again. Or even like right out the rip, if this is in your opening hand, it's got go again already, and you can kind of make do with that, I guess. So like, I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Let's just throw that in there for the sake of throwing that in there. And maybe we take out, let's see here. You know what? Maybe we take out In the Swing, because I don't know how many times we're going to be swinging with both swords. So like In the Swing can come out. I think In the Swing can come out. And that's pretty much that. So yeah, we'll take In the Swing out. And then keep Life for Life in there. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. But like, I don't foresee you wanting to commit more than 1 card. Well, okay, I guess you could pitch for the hatchet, then you could pitch again, gain 2, use the other hatchet, then use 1 resource left over for like another attack or something if you really have to. But I think this is a pretty good example of how you want to build this guy out. I mean, Flame Call Awakening will straight up just grab that Phoenix Flame for you. It's just an extra resource when, at any point during the match. You could probably squeeze out some kind of wins with this. I'm not thinking it's going to be fantastic, but I did want to take a look at it. Like, I wanted to take a look and see, like, okay, this is the pile of cards we have now that we could build an Emperor deck with. How do we build this? What could we do? Like, what could we explore? I'm not claiming this to be be all end all. I don't know if this is like, I don't believe to begin with the Emperor is going to be super competitive in Blitz until we see what cards are coming out in Dynasty, the Royal cards specifically. That might change the entire game, and he might become S tier. Who knows? But the point I'm trying to make is I think this is probably where we're sitting at right now. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. It's a 25-minute video. I'm sorry for the absence. I got back from the fall brawl, and if you've made it to the end of this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button, because once we hit 1,000 subscribers here on the channel, I'm going to be uploading an alpha box break that we did with our LGS owner. It's gonna be a good time, and I would love for you guys to see what we pulled from an alpha flesh and blood box. So be sure to subscribe, guys. Check out the Patreon as well. If you are a patron of the channel, you do get Sin sleeves on talishar.net. Thanks to the folks over at Talishar for including me in the content creators that got card sleeves over in Talishar on talishar.net. So go check that out as well, guys. Thanks a ton, and until next time, Sin out. Later.